Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha. It's Yahweh Shah. So we got to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishop and elders, a great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing the truth and believing in truth with the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Abba who are listening learning. If you sisters are listening learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp, coming at you another lesson, truth, faith, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord, which we edify. So I titled this lesson, Your Privileges, Your White Privileges, and Your Generational Wealth have been taken away. Welcome back to the bases of men. Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the Dukes of Edom, the so-called white people. Welcome back to the bases of men. Your white privileges have been revoked, have been taken away. Welcome back to the bases of men. Lord, witness be edified.
I worked my whole life, and this is what it comes down to? Some greedy person wanting his big chunk out of what little bit I had.
And the greed is from your big brothers, your cousins, the Edomites, the elites. Hold on. This is what the average so-called white person is saying about their brothers, their cousins, the elites, the rulers of the earth.
I worked my whole life, and this is what it comes down to? Some greedy person wanting his big chunk out of what little bit I had.
How much longer can you afford to live in your home?
1 month. I don't know what I'm going to do. Hope that I don't wake up tomorrow. That's crossed my mind.
One of the most important forms of affordable housing is under threat. They're called manufactured housing communities. You might know them as mobile home parks or trailer parks, and they often get a bad rap. But 22 million Americans call them home for a reason.
We're pretty much the last oasis of affordable housing in this country.
These parks are at the foundation of America's housing market, often the last line of defense against homelessness. But over the last decade, these communities have become the target of a new kind of landlord: private equity.
Private equity firms are increasingly getting involved.
Some of the biggest investors in America have moved into this industry.
People living at a local mobile home park outraged over the sharp increase in lot rent.
Rents were raised by nearly 60%.
Their rent could increase by thousands of dollars a year.
A group of mobile home residents are
Edomiteville, man. And of course, you have a few jakes that stay in these trailer park trashes. But these are mostly Edomites.
are protesting their living conditions.
It's like you have genetically bred a superior predator and let him loose in a target-rich environment. This is actually a good day. Sometimes it's like mud.
This corporation is putting
See the water? He said this is actually a good day. Hold on.
This is actually a good day. Sometimes it's like mud.
This corporation.
See, we were talking about this. We always talk about this, man. The contaminated water that we bathe in, we drinking, is coming through corroded pipes. The so-called white man did this. And see, when they divided and conquered us, the Lord is now dividing and conquering them.
Is putting profits ahead of the safety and welfare of our local citizens. And this we will not allow.
So why have manufactured homes become private equity's latest target? And what can be done to save one of the last forms of affordable housing in the country?
I've lived in manufactured homes for 50 years, maybe more.
Madeline Beckett lives in a park outside of Lansing, Michigan.
This park was run the way a good park should be run, by the same couple for years and years and years. They were a little
She said she's been living in mobile homes for over 50 years, man. Jake ain't had it that bad, man. See, but this system that was set up for the so-called white people, Section 8 HUD, Habitat Housing, Social Security, Disability stamps, all the EBT, it was designed for them. And 60% of government assistance, Section 8 HUD, Habitat Housing, Social Security, Disability, EBT, and the crime in America is by the so-called white people, man. And they are doing bad. Welcome back to the basis of men.
stern, or she was a little stern. She was a lot stern, but nobody pulled any punches with her.
Like most people in manufactured housing, Madeline owns her home, but pays monthly rent to the park owner for the land it sits on.
When I retired, I looked at my money and my situation, and I'm like, okay, great. I knew what the rent was. It was a third of my income. I don't live high on the hog. You know, I'm not going to Paris anytime soon. And then the conglomerate came in and offered apparently the owner money that he couldn't resist. I looked it up and I went, oh dear, I think we are in trouble.
3 years ago, a private equity firm bought Madeline's community and later sold to another firm. Since then, her monthly rent plus fees have jumped 50%.
Instead of what I thought the rent was going to be, it's $200 more. I have nowhere to go. Just the other day, my daughter went with me to the food bank, and I hadn't done that before. I haven't been poor. I worked for 45 years. There is no American dream anymore. All it is survival.
See,
during the
what Apostle Gabal always say, we just surviving at best, man. This is happening to the so-called white people, man. They don't give a damn if it's a double wide trailer. Trailer park trash, man. They doing bad. But this system was designed, this is the so-called white man's kingdom. This is their rulership. And they doing bad.
Pandemic, institutional investors started to buy more manufactured housing than ever before. Between 2020 and 2021, they made nearly a quarter of all manufactured home purchases in the US. Today, 12 private equity firms own at least 1,200 parks nationwide, according to the Private Equity Stakeholder Project. In Michigan, private equity owns 1 in every 10 parks.
There is an overall trend in our economy to identify who has the fewest choices and then squeeze them.
Paul Terranova organizes manufactured housing residents in Michigan.
While folks often call them mobile homes, they're not really particularly mobile. Wall Street investors, private equity firms, hedge funds kind of figured out that folks living in manufactured housing communities are trapped. They can't move.
It costs $10,000 to $20,000 to move one of these homes, and most people who live in them can't afford that.
If you think about the fact that the average manufactured housing resident lives on about $35,000 a year, that's generally out of people's range.
Because they can't move, they're uniquely vulnerable to predatory landlords who can charge the highest rent residents can bear.
There's a guy named Frank Rolfe who runs something called Manufactured Housing University.
Edomites, man. He could be Elon. She could be Elon. Edomites, man. They losing.
Okay, we're now at her second park. We're getting out again. So here we are.
He was quoted saying,
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Edomites.
Getting out again. So here we are.
He
losing, man. He could be Jake. Losing, man. Welcome back to the Basis of Men, man. Hey, and as the head brother always say, these was the Edomites. He could be Jake. These are the Edomites that was lynching Jake, man. They're like a Jake back there in the back. These is the Edomites that was lynching Jake. Him right here. Him right here. Him right here. He was one that was watching as a child. These is the nigga that was lynching us, man. Yeah.
He was quoted saying something along the lines of, owning a mobile home park is like owning a Waffle House and having your customers chained to the booth.
The big thing is they can really tolerate rent increases really well. And it pretty much works throughout America because there's so much need for affordable housing right now.
That business model, a reliable stream of payments from captive tenants, is a big reason why these parks are so lucrative, providing investors with one of the highest annual returns of any asset in real estate. Higher than offices, commercial, industrial, you name it.
Hey, trailer park.
Brandon.
This is a financial play to them. They don't care about us. They'd just as soon evict us, take our homes, and then rent them out to somebody else for $200 more.
Theo Gantos lives in a park near Flint, Michigan. 3 years ago, it was taken over by Homes of America, an affiliate of the hedge fund Alden Global Capital. Alden Global is best known for buying newspapers across the country and stripping their assets.
Yeah, we had a pool, before the Homes of America. We still pay the same amount as though we had a pool and as though we had a community center, but we have no community center either.
Since 2021, Homes of America has gone on a buying spree, spending nearly $300 million to acquire 138 parks across 17 states. They've raised rents and aggressively evicted residents. After years of neglect, only about 15% of the lots in Theo's park are still occupied.
And who is Homes of America?
Homes of America is just a shell within a shell within a shell. Homes of America is Randy Smith.
Randall Smith is the founder and chief investment officer of Alden Global. He lives in Palm Beach, Florida. As of 2017, he owns 17 mansions. He has since sold 14 of them for a reported profit of $57 million.
Yeah, this is the plunder of private equity.
See, we talk about this all the time, man. Yeah, they taking out of the mouths of their own people, man. Damn, that's messed up, man. But it's beautiful. Let me get this. Man, this is cold, man. This nigga is taken away from the common Edomites so he can live lavish. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 14 in verse 4. He that gathereth by the fraud in his own soul gathereth for others, that shall spend his goods riotously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. It say he that is evil to himself. He's evil to his own people. That's himself, his own people. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. So when you Edomite, oh yeah, my boss treated me, he doing it unwillingly, man. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. And that's in that Proverbs 26. I love to read. It says, wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation. This is Ecclesiastes 14:8. The envious man having wicked eye, he turned away his face and despiseth men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drive up his soul. A wicked eye envieth his bread, and he is a niggard at his table. At his table. At the Edomite's table, he's a nigger. He's a niggard at his table, man. He is envious to himself. This is Proverbs. Man, this is sad, but it's beautiful. Because the divide and conquer that they did to us, the Lord is doing to them now, man. Proverbs 11:29 it reads. Let me read 9. Proverbs 11:9. And hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor. And hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor. But through knowledge shall the just be delivered. This is verse 29. He that troubleth his own house, his people, shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. And this is the translation of the Edomites going to be servants to the Hebrew Israelites. This is Habakkuk. This nigga is destroying his own people, man. Habakkuk 2:9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. What they just showed you. Let's go back to this nigga Richard. What his name was? Was it Richard? Let's go back.
Park are still occupied. And who is Homes of America?
Homes of America is just a shell within a shell within a shell. Homes of America is Randy Smith.
Randy Smith.
Randall Smith is the founder and chief investment officer of Alden Global.
There you go. Randy Smith. This is what this talking about right here. Habakkuk 2:9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. So he said he destroyed his own Edomite people to set his nest on high. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and have sinned against thy soul.
He lives in Palm Beach, Florida. As of 2017, he owns 17 mansions. He has since sold 14 of them for a reported profit of $57 million.
Yeah, this is the plunder of private equity. This is what they do.
Okay, everybody ready? Everybody rolling? All right, good afternoon.
This is beautiful.
In August, the county prosecutor brought charges against Homes of America's local LLC for operating the park without a license. It's the first time that the owner of a manufactured housing park in Michigan has ever faced that criminal charge.
A key element in the North Morris Estate's inability to obtain a license is its seeming refusal to fix the park's water problem.
Well, when the water comes out like this, it kind of ruins your whole day.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get the attention of the out-of-state corporation that owns this park.
That's crazy.
And force its officers and directors to do the right thing for the residents of this community. It's clear to me this corporation is putting profits before people.
Honestly, the warrant should be to Randall Smith, CEO of Alden, but he's hidden himself behind multiple shell layers. So getting to him is hard.
These big companies buying up these communities now need some oversight, because right now they're free to abuse residents in pretty much every way they want.
Holly Hook lives 30 minutes away at another park, owned by private equity firm Haven Park Communities. That's the same company that bought Madeline's Park, and it owns 63 other parks across the country. In the last 6 years, Haven Park has doubled Holly's housing costs. To avoid homelessness, she's had to take on 2 roommates. What power do you have right now in the existing legal structure to do anything about the rising rent or any of the fees?
There's absolutely no recourse right now. About a year after this started, it's like something just broke in me, and I started talking to some neighbors saying we've got to gather and do something about this.
Residents were up in arms and they started going to their local township council meetings and their city council meetings. And a few of them were able to make contact with a couple of state representatives, a Democrat named Senator John Cherry.
A lot of people from the district went up to him and told him about what Haven Park was doing, and that's what got him interested in drafting the bill package.
What the legislation tries to do in the broadest sense is to weed out the bad actors in the industry. What we're trying to do is make sure that folks don't get exploited. That's what this is about.
State Senator John Cherry is the sponsor of legislation that would protect residents from the worst abuses of predatory landlords. The bills were drafted in 2021 by a coalition of residents and advocates in direct negotiation with the landlord industry group.
It was a very collaborative process that actually included the Michigan Manufactured Housing Association.
The legislation would require landlords to justify any rent increase above the rate of inflation in front of a state commission. It would also limit the fees that landlords can charge, make utility charges transparent, require notification when a park is sold, and force landlords to pay fair market value for a home if a resident is evicted.
These are really modest protections, so it's not everything that we need right now.
See, this ain't going on for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians that's being downtrodden like this. See, this is the Edomite system. They don't care about you niggas, man. They don't care about you Hebrew Israelites, man. This is the so-called white man system. Somebody standing in the pain for them. What about you? As I said, Micah 2:10, this is not your rest.
It's not going to set the rents back to what they were or anything like that, but it would start to make things more fair. It would just be a modest start.
In the state's last legislative session, the legislation passed.
Hey, man, ain't no more generational wealth and white privilege for you so-called white people, man. It's over, man. It's over. It's downhill from here.
Passed the House with overwhelming bipartisan support.
The bill is passed.
But then something changed.
In the early part of 2022, the Michigan Manufactured Housing Association did a 180, pulled their support, and it died in the Michigan State Senate.
You know why? Because your vote doesn't matter. Hey, we got to do something. We got to protest. Listen, man, Yahweh Shema Shah is in control, man. Because see, these is the Edomites that was hanging you Negroes, man. These are the Edomites that was hanging you Negroes and the children of them that was watching, rooting on. Ain't no good coming to them, man. These curses are now falling on our enemies, man. So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. You know what the so-called white man did to you, man? The atrocities, the rape, rob, murder, pillage, and plunder. It tell you in Zephaniah 1:15. Let me read it. They getting paid back now for what they did, man. This is
when we looked at the records, we did see that coincided.
Salaki, this is Zechariah 1:15. And I am very sure displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. See, they forward the affliction, man. So it's time for them to suffer. Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient has thy very heavenly laid thy yoke. This is James chapter 2:13. It reads, for he shall have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. This is the big payback, man.
I did with the Michigan Manufactured Housing Association Political Action Committee, suddenly getting some very big donations.
Over the course of a year, 2 Haven Park executives gave $358,000 to the industry PAC.
And that's right when the Manufactured Housing Association just totally pulled their support.
That money is some of the people that I know, that's their grocery money. That's their prescription copay. That's the medicine that they're doing without and the food that they're doing without because these people were gouging them.
The most vulnerable residents in Michigan are being taken advantage of. And some people have to choose between rising rent, medications, and food.
In February, Holly, Theo, and other residents went to the
And
state.
that's what Jake been going through for years. You having a hard ass crisis on what should you be buying? What's more important? What should you be purchasing? See, it applies to the so-called white people now, man.
Capitol to lobby for a new version of the bill package.
I'm testifying in support of Senate Bills 486 through 490. There's no free market when residents are trapped.
Its fate will be decided in the upcoming legislative session this September and October.
We have overwhelming support from the Democrats in the House, and we have some Republicans who've committed to support as well.
How many legislators would you say you've met with?
I would say at least 100 of them. We've met with almost all of the Michigan Senate or their staff. And now we're starting to work on the House.
Manufactured housing communities are just one type of property that large investors have targeted in recent years. But these parks are ground zero in a fight that affects all of us. The fight for meaningful control of our neighborhoods and for housing that people from all walks of life can afford.
Everybody deserves drinkable water, and everybody deserves to have affordable housing. We just want a livable.
Who is everybody? She talking about Edomites, man. She ain't talking about Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. She talking about Edomites, man.
Place.
Yeah, you see it, man. Their asses is losing, man. Private equity, man.
Private equity firms are increasingly getting involved.
Some of the biggest investors in America have moved into this industry.
People living at a local mobile home park outraged over the sharp increase in lot rent.
Rents were raised by nearly 60%.
Their rent could increase by thousands of dollars a year.
A group of mobile home residents are protesting their living conditions.
It's like you genetically bred a superior predator and let him loose in a target-rich environment.
See? And let's put this guy on the screen. Where he at? Where's this nigga at, man? Let's put Randall on the screen. So like where he at? Cause he's the cause of this. Where that nigga Randall at? Bear with me here. Right there. There you go. Randall Smith. Living on a high hog, man. Destroying his people, the trailer park trash, man. See, what the Lord is showing us is this. This is Job. Call out Yahweh Shema Shah, man. This is Job 20:18, and reads, that which he laid before shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he built up not. See, so now what they have done. Oh, I got to get this. Job 21:19 reads, God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. See, his eyes shall see the destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what pleasure have he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? So we are watching them being cut off in the midst, man. We watching them being cut off, man. And it's all because of the elites. As it said in Habakkuk, it said they had consulted the shame of their house. Let me read it again. Let me close with this. Because they don't care about their people, man. That's why the scripture said that a wise king, Habakkuk 2 in verse 9, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. He don't care about his people, man. This is about them setting their nest on high, those that got the money. He don't care about his people, man. That's what the Lord said. He's gonna bring down the lofty looks and the pride of these Edomites, man. Oh, what's that? Isaiah 32. Yep. The brother put up, this is Yahweh Sop, Hopeful Elect 777. Proverbs 26 and 15, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is the wicked ruler over the poor people. Yep. Yep. Damn nigga, man. This is Isaiah 32 and 5. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. They showed you the water. The instruments also the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. Yeah, man. That's these Edomites, man. These niggas ain't liberal. The niggas the devil, man. And Kala Yahba Shemawashai, because he's destroying his own people, man. As he's supposed to do. Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. Their honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the octant pushing the truth and believing the truth of the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the outworld who will listen learning. If you sisters will listen to tuning in, may Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of the lake be upon your houses. Until next time, I say Shalom. Wa Obaba.